Hey everybody, welcome back to Breakfast with Bob from Challenge Daytona PTO 2020 Championship. My name is Bob Babbitt, brought to you by Captiva Spine, John Hall Chevrolet, USA Triathlon, Foundation Risk Partners, PTO, the Pro Triathletes Organization, ranked number 9 on a PTO circuit. Laura Philipp, how are you doing?
Thanks, Bob. I'm doing very well. I'm glad to be here and finally get the chance to race a big race this year.
Were you going a little crazy, not being able to do anything?
Yeah, actually I did. But, well, I just try to focus on what I can do. And
Right.
that was, to work on my, my weaknesses and, just focus on the positive and take it day by day. But it was still a big motivational boost to have the PTO championship race on the horizon.
Well, to know in this sort of a year of nothing, to have a race where there's $1.15 million, the best athletes on the planet, at a cool distance, right? Because you have the ITU athletes, and it's like a 1.2 and close to a 50-mile bike ride and a little over 11-mile run. You like the distance and like the mix of the athletes?
Yeah, that's super exciting. I think it's something we've never seen before. And middle distance suits me. I'm glad we're not racing an Olympic distance over here, because then I think the long course athletes would probably be a little bit too slow.
Right.
But especially with the 80K bike ride, I think if we can maybe make a difference. So I hope when everyone sticks to the 20-meter rule, I'm very glad for this. It will be an exciting race.
What was the experience like going to Kona and getting 4th in your first time there?
Well, the 4th place, it was a super great achievement, something I'm very proud of because I had a very rough build-up. But of course, 4th place always leaves you hungry for more. You want to get that
podium. You want to be on the podium.
Onto the podium, right? And of course, I was super hungry to return this year, and sad that we couldn't go there.
Yeah, and what I love is when you were 24 years old, you really you were learning to swim. I mean, we're talking not even 10 years ago. You were learning to swim, and now you're one of the best in the world. Take me through getting into this sport. What got you into it?
Well, it's still sometimes surprises myself how far I reached already, because I got into the sport by kind of an accident. Like, I had no background in swim, bike, run. The only sport I really did was rock climbing, so very different to triathlon. But I watched some friends doing a relay at a local triathlon, and I cheered them on, and I thought, this looks like fun, so why don't I take on a challenge and try to learn to swim and to bike and to run. And then I signed up for the triathlon for the next year, and I gave it a go. And I somehow survived the swim. It was with the current in the river, so I was lucky. And as soon as I jumped on the bike, I felt very comfortable. I feel like this is, some sort of my strength. I feel like I'm kind of natural biker and runner.
Right. Yeah.
So as soon as I got onto those two disciplines, I had a lot of fun, and I started to overtake people in that triathlon, and I thought, like, oh my God, I think this is something I really enjoy to do. And from that moment on, I fell in love with triathlon and did more and more and became better and better.
Well, it took you 6 months to be able to swim more than a length without stopping.
Yeah, that's true. It was kind of frustrating, and sometimes it's still frustrating to go into the pool, because the improvements you make, they can be so little, and you have to be happy about like an improvement of a second over 100 meter, for example, and it can take you a year to get there. But I'm still enjoying the journey and the progress, and I know that there, especially on the swim, is still a lot of improvement for me. So just enjoying to jump in the pool every day and work on the things I can do to become better.
So getting into the sport so late, you probably didn't think about the ITU racing, because the swim is such an important part of that. So right away, was it 70.3, more the longer distance?
Well, I started with non-drafting Olympic races, and I really enjoyed them. But of course, like the real Olympic distance is
No.
nothing that comes into my mind. I love to watch the races. I love the speed. I think it probably would have been something that I would enjoy to do.
Yes.
But with my swimming background, it's simply not possible. But yes, racing 70.3, I really felt comfortable on this distance because, you know, I always had to catch up on the bike, and
Yes.
I felt like this is something that suits me. Like I can ride strong and still run strong after. So, yeah, I gained more experience on that racing format.
Yes.
And I still left me some time to step up to Ironman racing. Like I think it was only 2018 that I stepped up to Ironman racing.
And your first Ironman, you went what? How fast did you go?
Well, yeah, that was a surprise for myself.
You
I
think?
went 8:34:57
It's
at
like-
Ironman Barcelona.
I think that was the fastest debut Ironman
Yeah.
ever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't know. Like I heard Paul Kay saying something about my time when I passed on one of the round laps.
Yeah.
And I still like. I think he said something. If she continues like this, she can go sub 8:30. And I was like, he's not talking about me because I had no watch, so I had no idea where I was in the race. I just focused on finishing because I really wanted to become an Ironman, and that was my main goal. So yeah, to reach the finish in that time was just an incredible feeling.
And that put you in the Kona.
Yes, exactly.
That's and what was the Kona experience like for you?
Well,
Because
Kona.
you've heard all the horror stories, right, of
Yeah.
people falling down and collapsing. And
So I was lucky to be in Kona in 2017 to just watch the race.
That helped,
and
huh?
yeah, that really helped me because I went there and I wanted to decide if I want to qualify for Kona and do it myself.
Right.
Because, you know, I heard all these horrible stories and
Yes.
about the heat and the cruelty and the winds and so on. But standing there, 2017, watching the other girls race, it was so tough for me. I just wanted to jump on my bike and race
Just
with
go
them.
ride with them.
Yeah, exactly. So from that moment on, I knew I want to qualify and I want to race there myself. So yeah, it was just an amazing experience to be there, do the preparation, get used to the heat. I felt that I can cope the conditions quite well, so I felt comfortable. The only thing that held me back was a running injury, so I was only able to run 200K from May to October, so that is like nothing.
Right.
So I had big, trouble to be confident for the run. But I tried to leave everything out there on the bike and just try, to bring it home.
Yes.
So I was super relieved and happy about the fourth place. I didn't believe that I could hold it in the race, so I was very surprised that no one came to overtake me. And it was a great feeling.
Where did you come off the bike?
Well, we were a big group
Yes.
after the bike, so I was able to catch the front group except of Lucy. She was far away.
Right.
And I think we were a group of maybe 8 or 9 athletes. And Annie was also in there, so that showed me, even with a weaker swim, I could have been into the position to make it to the front. So, yeah, that leaves me with confidence. But I still think I swam under my abilities. So hopefully next year I will have a stronger swim, which puts me into a better position on the bike, and then I don't have to push
right.
too much.
Well, and
also
hopefully you're
be
not
able-
coming off a big running injury either, because
Yeah,
you're like you
true.
were.
So that was a good thing about this year, that
Yeah.
I was 100% healthy and just feel good and fit.
So you were talking challenge Heilbrunn. You ended up walking and you're left on crutches and that. So then you were going to do challenge Roth. You couldn't do that, and so really your running training was really, really limited going in the Kona.
Exactly. So Challenge Heilbronn was the last race that I
Yes, in
attended.
May.
And exactly. So
Wow.
from May to October, there was not much running going on. But yeah, I mean, it always gives you a lesson, and you
Yes.
learn a lot from an injury. And I'm sure it made me a stronger athlete.
No
and
question.
I care a lot more about my body, and I listen a lot more to it now. So I think, there's always a positive also to something negative like this.
Right, and so here we also have the Collins Cup, right? And you can qualify for the Collins Cup at this race.
Yes.
And that's a big event for you as well, correct?
Exactly. It will take place in May next year.
Yes.
So hopefully everything will be a little bit better next year. And we have a lot of racing going on. And it would be amazing to qualify and to be in Team Europe. I think Team Europe will be one of the strongest teams.
No question.
And it would be so much fun to race alongside all these strong European athletes and try to beat the other teams.
That is so cool. And for this race, is this, I mean, we got $100,000 for first, like we said, $1.15 million. Is this the type of race you think you've got the skill set to win?
Well, I always want to win.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I can win here, but I will definitely try to do everything to make it to the front of the race. I do think that I have the bike skill to ride a fast time here,
yes.
and I feel confident about my run. But of course, I also know that there are many girls in this race who have the ability and to perform well in all three disciplines. And I'm preparing for a super close race. I think it will be a fight for seconds.
Yes.
And maybe also something we don't often experience in long distance racing, like maybe run with 10 athletes together.
Right.
Something like the short course athletes are used to,
question.
but we are not so much. So
yes.
to run in a bunch of people, that's something, I'm looking forward to. Maybe it can push us even more. And I do think I have good chances to place myself well at the end, but it's so hard to predict.
Love it. Hey, thanks so much for taking time, Laura. Always a pleasure. We chatted last year in Kona, and it's great to have you back.
Thank you so much.
Laura Philipp has been our guest, everybody. Hang on. We will be right